Is this the FT1 upgraded? Hello and thank you for clicking on this video. I'll be sharing my thoughts on the Fiio FT1 Pro. Not to be confused with my recently released video, which is the Fiio FT1, and that is a $150 closed back dynamic driver headphone, but this one, the Fiio FT1 Pro, is a $200 open back planar magnetic headphone. So we have a budget dynamic driver closed back headphone, now we have a budget open back planar magnetic headphone, but in the same FT1 series line. So is it an upgrade in any way since they're asking $50 more? Before we dive deeper, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank Fiio for sending this unit in exchange for my honest feedback. However, as always, all thoughts and opinions are my own and are not influenced by any parties. If you've been enjoying my content, please do hit that like and subscribe button, as that will help my channel a lot and allow me to bring more content like these. If you haven't already checked out my video for the Fiio FT1, I'll leave links in the description down below, but essentially the unboxing experience and the accessories are pretty much identical. And just to recap real quick, they give you a really nice hard case to protect your headphones, a 6.35 to 3.5mm converter, and two braided cables. One terminates in 3.5mm single-ended and another in 4.4mm balance, and they both connect via 3.5mm, and they are really nice stock cables. The design theme is also largely the same, with the only difference being in the faceplate design, where on the FT1 Pro, instead of the dark timber for faceplates on the FT1, they have a perforated pattern instead for the FT1 Pro. And on certain angles, you can see the driver peeking through, and this fits better with the overall design theme for me personally, as the headphone looks really sleek and elegant with a mixture of black and silver, and the perforation has a nice pattern to it, and just like the FT1, the faceplate on the FT1 Pro just elevates the look of this headphone. And if you like the look of the FT1, you might feel the same way of the FT1 Pro. Fit and comfort remains largely the same as well, where I mentioned in my FT1 video, the ear cups are nice and plush, but due to the size of the opening, it does rest on certain parts of my ears. So if you have really big ears, you may experience that, but it doesn't give me any discomfort because of how plush it is, but you can pad swap if you don't like the feeling from the stock ear pads. Before we talk about the sound of this headphone, one thing to note is that this headphone needs a lot of power. I know planar is typically hard to drive, but this one is quite surprising, so you do need a really good source to be able to drive this headphone and bring out its capabilities. So with that in mind, let's talk about sound. And the highlight of this headphone is its wide, expansive soundstage. You've heard a lot of people talk about hi-fi headphones and how wide the soundstage sounds like, but now you can get it in the Fiio FT1 Pro, because that's the first thing that caught my attention, and it made me miss my hi-fi HE1000 V2 because that headphone soundstage was simply mwah. And if you are into something like classical music, this headphone will be right up your alley, because you're getting really good imaging, all the separation of sounds and positioning of these sounds within the soundstage. It just gives you a very 3D like performance, and is the kind of performance you typically get from higher priced headphones, so it's great to be experiencing that at this price point. However, having said that, there were sacrifices that had to be made in order for the above to shine through. There's roll off in the sub bass to give the mid bass some roundness, and you do hear the weight of the bass notes, and it's fast and speedy, but you don't necessarily feel it. And the mid-range is lean and clean, which again, if you want that full-bodied warm presentation, that's not the intention of this headphone, but that lends itself to delivering that separation between sounds as mentioned earlier. Treble is also present, but not too sparkly or piercing, so if you're sensitive to planar treble attacks, then this headphone is safe for that. So it's something like a balance with the amount of treble, where it's smooth enough and there's clarity because it doesn't have much coming from the low end to deal with. Some may find the mid-range a little too lean, or this headphone being a little too laid back, but as I said before, that soundstage presentation is something to experience. So comparing against the hi-fi HE400 SE, I've mentioned in my other video that the FT1 is the complete opposite of the HE400 SE. The Fiio FT1 Pro, for me personally, is that small upgrade to the hi-fi HE400 SE because of how similar they sound. Neutral sound, focusing on details coming through with a clean and wide sounding presentation. However, the bass presentation sounds a lot more weightier on the FT1 Pro comparing to the HE400 SE, and the imaging is more distinct on the FT1 Pro. Not to mention, the design of the FT1 Pro just looks and feels a lot sturdier, and as an overall package, from the design to the accessories that it comes with, the Fiio FT1 Pro is just a step above, and for me personally, a worthy upgrade to the hi-fi HE400 SE. So in summary, this may be an unpopular opinion, but I actually really like the Fiio FT1 Pro. Yes, it's a little bit more neutral and bass light, and maybe I've listened to too many V-shaped tuned headphones, so this feels like a breath of fresh air, and that really wide soundstage presentation and imaging is really addictive. So as an overall package, with how the headphone looks and the accessories that it comes with, plus the sound, Fiio once again really knocked it out of the park with the Fiio FT1 Pro. But how does it compare with the Fiio FT1? Well, that will be a separate dedicated video in itself, so stay tuned for that. However, I'm curious to know your thoughts on this headphone. Have you tried it? What are your thoughts on the Fiio FT1 Pro? Comment below and let me know. And with that all said, thank you once again to Fiio for this opportunity and to all of you for watching. Until the next video, take care and happy listening.